I'm on the subway and I am listening to my headphones and I hear a man yell. He's yelling, "How are you going to defend this woman from what I'm saying?" And in my head, I admit, I think maybe I'll defend her by getting off the subway. But my body has other. I look down and I am striding the length of the subway. He's really easy to spot. He's sitting here and she is sitting right across from him. He's staring at her, and she, a very young, very beautiful woman, is staring at the floor. And then he looks up and sees me. He says, You with the blue hair. You are the ugliest woman I've ever seen in my life. The most you could hope for is that someone finds you acceptable. And my hands are tingling and my feet are tingling. I can't believe that somebody is actually saying this to me right here in public. But also, weirdly, it sounds so familiar. And I'm racking my brain and I'm trying to figure it out. And I realize, oh, wow, it's like my teenage self has somehow gone through space and time and is now possessing the body of this horrible man on the subway. And I really want to be like, okay, like, remember your plan that you were going to marry Kirk Cameron from Growing Pains? He turned into a scurry fundamentalist, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. Welcome to the future. But that guy is talking again already. In fact, you are incredibly fat. No one on the subway car can stand to look at you, you ugly, fat, blue-haired lesbian. And in my head, I am laughing. In terms of compliments, lesbian marks number 2, right under smart. I mean, yes, I'm horrified by the great joy that this guy is taking in saying words that he clearly thinks I'm going to be repeating to myself for the rest of my life. But he also has no idea that I made peace with my body while Ronald Reagan was still president. A guy sitting nearby says, "Hey, buddy, time to be." And he is quiet for a little while, but when it's clear that I'm not getting off the subway, he says, "Get away from me, you ugly freak. You look like a female grizzly bear." And in my head, I'm thinking, I know Toronto pretty well, the city where I live, and I'm pretty sure that if I opened a coffee shop and I called it Lesbian Grizzly Bear, I would make like $1 million. I can only think of 2 things to say. There's what my mom would have said in all sincerity, which is, "You seem so distressed. How can I help?" And then there's what I'm dying to say, which is, "Sir, I was bullied by girls named Jennifer in school. I knew girls named Jennifer. Girls named Jennifer, they were my enemies. And sir, you could try for the whole rest of your life. You're never going to be as scary as a 13-year-old girl named Jennifer." So I just stand there silently as he says, "I'm good looking. Everyone on this subway car can see it, and you are hideous. I should know." The subway car pulls into St. George Station. The beautiful young woman gets off, and so I do too. And when I get home, my son can see that I'm rattled. He asks what happened, and I tell him, and he gives me a big hug. And he says, "Mama, you are so smart. You are so funny. You are so worthwhile." That man wanted to know who was going to defend that woman. So I stood there and I silently watched, and he did not say another word to her. That's how I defended her. Thank you so much.